Hi everyone, welcome. I am Ipshita Burman, Community and Ecosystems Lead at MySafe Spaces. I am so glad you're here today. Take a breath, settle in. We are about to start. We are going to talk about therapy, mental health, and some of the things that make life heavy. If anything you hear brings something up for you during this hour or after, you do not have to sit with it alone. There are three helplines on your screen: iCall, Vandravela, and Astra, all free and confidential. Take a screenshot of this slide if that's useful. And now let's talk about what's important today. Here's what our next hour will look like. We first have Dr. Nidhi, our Director of Counseling Programs, who will walk us through what online counseling actually is and what isn't. After that, I'll be back to introduce the counselors on our team. And then we have our founder, Hubert, who will close us out with where we are heading. And we'll finish with a quick survey. Now, Dr. Nidhi Purohit leads our counseling programs at MySafe Spaces. She's 18 years into clinical work. She's worked across India and internationally. And she cares deeply about the cultural context we operate in, because that context itself is often the thing that keeps people from getting help. She is going to unpack what online counseling is, the barriers people face, what a session actually looks like, and whether it works. Dr. Nidhi, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Ipshita. Thank you for the warm welcome. Yes, I want to talk about therapy and its barrier. It's not about just therapy, it's the everything around it. And that's very, very important. So today, in the next few minutes, I'll be talking about how online therapy works and how you can understand why it is important. When we talk about therapy in the Indian context, I would like to talk about few data. Around 150 million are fellow Indians. They are somewhere struggling with mental health care services. They need services, but again, with shortage of the mental health professional, around 70 to 92% of our fellow Indians maybe will not get a therapy or a mental health care when they need it. It's very, very important that we talk about mental health care, we talk about all these services, but access is available or not, that is also one of the most important factors. So it is important that behind these statistics there is a person quietly carrying more than they should be, and that's what we are thinking about, and that's the motto of MySafe Spaces also, to provide therapy which is accessible and to all, at least in the Indian context. So, Akshita, if you can move ahead. Yeah. So, when we talk about therapy, there are many factors which may cause a barrier or a hindrance in taking the therapy itself. In Indian context, the most important and the most common one is stigma. When it comes to mental health, people are not ready to go to a mental health professional, a psychiatrist or a psychologist. The fact is, people don't even understand the difference between a psychiatrist and a psychologist. People think we are very comfortable going to a cardiologist, we are very comfortable talking about our health when it comes to headache or maybe a BP or a sugar problem. But when it comes to mental health, nobody's comfortable talking that yes, I do have anxiety or stress or any other thing. Still, the word mad is used by many of the people around us, and that makes it very difficult to take therapy. Of course, the another problem is access. As I mentioned in the earlier slide, the mental health professional, the trained mental health professionals are still in scarcity. So you may have to travel for 2 hours, wait for the therapy sessions, and even sometimes you may not get the therapy when you need it the most. So all these factors do contribute in not taking therapy or maybe becoming a major barrier in taking therapy. The same problem might be in the online session also. There are pros and cons and everything. So when it comes to online therapy, in the Indian context where we do have family, joint families, you may not even get a private room to discuss. And even if you close your doors, you may think that somebody, maybe intentionally or unintentionally, is listening to what you're talking to the therapist, which might again become difficult to handle, because sometimes we are not comfortable sharing everything to the family members or the close ones. And the most important thing as as a psychologist, what I see is most of the people do not understand when they need a therapy. We are doing every single thing in our daily life. If your mother, you're cooking, you're getting your kids ready to the school. If you're doing a job, you are daily showing up to the office on time, doing whatever is assigned to you. If you are a student, attending to your classes, doing your assignments, but still when you come home at the end of the day, you feel exhausted. There is something which you feel that it is meaningless. You don't feel connected to people around you. You may show up to a party, but emotionally you are drained. And still, we don't feel that therapy is needed, because, again, there is a myth that therapy is something for crisis. When you are not able to function in your day-to-day life, then you need therapy. And that is what we are going to talk about in the next few minutes, that how therapy can be useful not only in crisis but in otherwise also. So when we talk about online sessions or online therapy, it is very, very comfortable. It's not that hard, but what we might think. So the comfort is that you can use it, your laptop, your phone, in fact. And if you don't have a separate room, you can go to your terrace, or somewhere else and just talk to the therapist. And the therapist is ready for you. They know your name. They know maybe some of your background. They are ready to listen to you. You just need to talk. Sometimes even pause is important. Your silence is also important. And it's sometimes you may cry also in the session. And that's perfectly fine. The most important part is you are not being judged in the sessions. So whatever you discuss, it will be confidential. And that's make it meaningful to you. And that is the difference. Basically, that is the difference between talking to a therapist and talking to your family member or maybe your friends. And maybe after a session of 50 minutes or so, you just close your laptop, continue your daily work, but with a better mood, maybe with a better emotion. When you feel comfortable, when you may feel that you understand yourself better, you have that capacity to go along with whatever is going on around you. So that's what therapy looks like. There is a question which comes to my clients also ask me many times, does it really work? And the answer is yes. So, and it is not with my personal experience, of course. The data, the research shows it very well. Around 75% or more people feel that they have benefited by therapy, whether it is online or in person. And yes, there is no difference as such between an online or in-person therapy. For most of the cases related to mental health, be it depression, anxiety, post-traumatic disorder, which is a very heavy mental health challenge which people face. In most of the concerns, online therapy is as effective as an in-person therapy. And especially when after COVID, even the clinical bodies which govern the mental health system, like WHO in general also for health and mental health, and APA, the American Psychological Association, they have also recognized that telemedicine is actually doing a good job, and it is as effective as in-person therapy. In India also, NIMHANS, which is an institute of national eminence, they also started tele mental health services because we understand that in-person therapy might not be possible or might not be accessible to each and everyone. But online therapy is far easy when it comes to accessibility. And yes, why it is easy? Of course, not to begin with, but to continue also. Because you don't, for a follow-up session, you don't need to commute for an hour or two. You don't need to wait. You can have your therapy on odd times, like 10 p.m. in the night, which may not be available for in-person therapy. So of course, I see a lot of benefit when it comes to online sessions as compared to in-person. Again, it is very important to understand that therapy is for your well-being, your personal well-being. It's a holistic journey. There are many situations where you can actually go for a therapy. Sometimes you just feel that things are happening around you. There's a lot of overthinking. You feel emotionally drained, and there's no clarity why it is happening, why I'm behaving in certain ways. And at that moment, maybe a therapist can help you. They can give you that clarity which is needed. Sometimes what happens is we all have some emotional or other issues in our day-to-day life, and our brain, as a human brain, it is designed to cope up, to give you some solutions as per their capacity. So there is a possibility that something worked well in your previous events or situation, but it may not be working well in the present moment with your present situation. But your mind is going to go back to the old systems, your old coping mechanism, which is not working well for you today. So maybe your therapist can give you some extra tools, some extra coping mechanism, which are healthier, which are doable at this moment, which are workable for you, for your present situation, and for your present issues or mental health concerns. Again, I said, everyone has some or the other challenges in our life, and when it is not resolved, your past is going to come in your present and even in your future. So it's very important to heal your old wounds. Without that, progress, growth is not going to come. You will be stuck with the negative past events or emotions, which will always come up whenever you do something new. Those emotions will connect to your present life. And for that reason, therapists can help you to, it's not important or it's not workable actually to just, hide it or just suppress those wounds. Healing is very important, and a therapist can help you to do that. Sometimes, in the present world with a lot of social media, long distance relationships, the relationships are becoming difficult to understand. It's not that you don't love people or something has changed emotionally. The situation around us is very, very difficult. And sometimes our parents, our guardians may not even help you. They have experience, but not the experience you want sometimes. A therapist can help you to have a better communication, to understand your spouse, your partner, or any other relationship for that matter. To love yourself. That is also very important. When we talk about relationship, it is always the other person. What about yourself? Your self-worth, your self-love. If you can't respect yourself, if you can't love yourself, how can you expect it from others? So the first thing is you should love yourself, you should have self-worth. And a therapist can definitely help you to build that. It's just they will discuss few things and you will focus on your positive parts. Everyone has that. But sometimes because of the negativity around us, because of the overthinking, we tend to lose those connections with ourselves. And a therapist is trained to do that, to make yourself connected with yourself. Sometimes it is important to disconnect to connect. And that's what a therapist can help you in that. And lastly, it is not about a particular situation. Your the difficult situations, the scenarios are going to come in your life. But once you know yourself better, you know how to deal with situations. Even a therapy can work for even after the therapy. The learnings, the understandings you take from the therapist and the therapy sessions are going to help you in your long run in the future situations. So after having a therapy, you feel empowered. You know how to deal with your situations, present or maybe in future also. And yes, psychotherapy is not about just talking. This is also a myth I come across very often, that therapy is nothing, just talking, and that can be done by anyone. But no, uh, the research shows it, that psychotherapy has, like, over 75% of people who has taken psychotherapy have shown some benefit. It is always better as compared to having no therapy at all. And yes, it is scientifically backed. It is not just some random people are just talking to you, or you are talking and just venting out. We have theoretical frameworks, we have scientific research is done which shows that these therapies like CBT, cognitive behavior therapy, whether it is acceptance and commitment therapy, interpersonal therapy, and many more, they are scientifically backed, and they have proven record of benefiting the clients as per the needs. So you can go ahead easily and take the therapy. Definitely it is going to help you. This is something which I want to focus and I want to bring your attention to. As I earlier also mentioned, many people think that psychotherapy is needed when it is a crisis situation, when you are panicking, when you are not able to do things on a regular basis, your daily functioning is affected a lot. No, it's not that way. Sometimes you are doing everything which is required, and still you feel numb. You don't feel, actually, you are showing up in a party, but again you don't feel connected to your friends. Maybe something is happening in your life, maybe a shift in terms of your new job, becoming a parent, marriage, sometimes breakup. So all these things are something which is difficult to cope at that moment, and maybe talking to a therapist can help you to deal it in a better way. What happens is, there's nothing new, everything is same, but there is a pattern. Whenever you go to a job, you end up having a bad relationship with your boss, or maybe you tend to burn out easily. If it is a relationship, same arguments, different person, and you just see that there's something common in it, but you're not able to understand it. At that moment, therapists can actually help you to solve those cluttered emotions, cluttered thoughts. They can give you the clear path why it is. You may know what is happening, but why it is happening, the answer can be found out with the discussion with the therapist. uh, Sometimes we become harder on ourselves than any other person. We give ourselves so much hard targets. We can't be kinder to ourselves, and that's what is the needed most. Self care. We are attuned to care others, but what about yourself? If your cup is empty, you cannot you cannot fill others cup. So first fill your cup with love, emotions, and all the positivity. Then only you will be able to give it to others. And we unfortunately don't know how to pamper ourselves, how to love ourselves. And that's how the therapy can help you. Again, the most common thing, grief, anxiety, sometimes low mood. And if it is continuing for weeks and maybe for months, it is high time that you go to a therapist and take therapy, because that is the time where you are not able to handle it on yourself, and delaying is not going to help at all. And the last thing, you just want to know yourself better. It's not that there's something wrong in it, or something is bad with you, or there's a problem. No, everything is good, everything is going well. But for your growth, for your mental peace, for your self understanding, you may go to a therapist, and it is going to help you in your growth and in your progress. Maybe it is in your job, maybe it is your career, your relationship, and just being with oneself, loving yourself. So it can be anything, it's not just crisis. So please be mindful that it's not crisis. In your day-to-day life you may need a therapy, but you are not focusing on it. So just think about it. Now I also want to talk about what happens in the therapy, because many a times I've seen that people book a session but they don't show up. In the last moment they feel anxious that I don't know what is going to be happening in the session, how the counselor is going to talk to me, whether I need to do this, that, whether it is helpful or not. So many questions, and I understand these are all genuine questions. So for that, I want to tell you the progress in therapy. In the first 1-2 sessions, we talk about your past, your present, your thoughts, your emotions, whatever is going on with you. It helps the therapist to understand you in a better way, your situations in a better way. And at the end of the day, you also feel that you have given that burden which you were carrying to someone else. You can rest for some time. And all this happens without judgment. We are not going to share it with someone. So it is confidential, it is non-judgmental. Whatever you share, it remains with your counselor or your therapist. So that's the best part of it. In the next 3 to 6 sessions, along with the therapist, you understand what is happening, why it is happening, what is the common triggers, what makes you do something, or what makes you feel something which is not very healthy for you. What are the factors which maintain a pattern? Because sometimes there is no trigger, it is automatically maintained. So all these things you understand, and it is not that the counselor or the therapist is going to tell. It is self-discovery along with it. So the counselor is just going to support you with that process. And once you understand the pattern, you understand the situation better, then after 6, 7, or 12 sessions, the actual work is done, where you see the results. The actual work starts from day 1, the session 1, but you start seeing the positive results maybe after session 7 to 12, anywhere in between. You feel more empowered. You are empowered in taking your decisions. You understand your situation better. You have ready skills to use in your day-to-day life. Whenever there is a problem, you don't need to go back to your counselor again and again for every situation, for every problem. So your counselor, your therapist actually empowers you. It actually helps you, supports you to take your own decisions. We don't take decisions for you. We don't give you any advice. We just empower you to handle your life in a better way, in a controlled manner, a life which is in your control. Situations don't control you now. You have the control. You have the remote control of yourself. And you can take whatever channel you want, whether it is comedy, romance, or whatever it is. So you feel more empowered. You feel in control of your life. And that's how the journey begins. The end of a session is a journey, a new life you are starting. Even after the therapy, the whatever has happened in the therapy is going to support you. But again, without the therapist now you yourself are empowered to handle your situations. And again, whenever in your life, when you think that yes, again I need a therapy, you can go back to your therapist. So that's so easy. It's not that complicated. if you are thinking to take a therapy at this moment, I would recommend to go ahead and just try it once. We have a very interesting way to go about therapy. We just don't give a therapist to you. We have a system called Mosaic, where we have 15 wellness dimension when it comes to it measures your emotional well-being. It measures your emotional intelligence. It also measures your anxiety, stress, your functioning. So there are many different parameters or dimensions in your life which actually contributes to your present situation. So we assess all of them, and that gives a clear picture of you, not only to you but to your therapist as well. And then how after knowing that, we understand that okay, what are the concerns, and we try to give you a best match possible. So we have uh, you know different specializations, and different specialized counselors with us. So as per your needs, as per your concern, we try to pair you with a counselor who is fit in terms of your language, in terms of your concern and style. And yes, once you meet them, you can see the profile, you can set up a session, and whatever fits according to you, you have a choice to make. And the best part is, if you think that okay, I'm not satisfied, that's perfectly fine. You may not have the understanding to pick, and sometimes it doesn't work otherwise. So if you think that the first session did not meet up to your expectations, or you want to explore some other counselor with some other specialization, yes, you can go ahead and take another session with another person. That's also available. So you don't need to worry about how to go about. It's not that complicated. You need to just go to our website, and you can book a session very easily. So as per your preferred language, your format, we provide counseling services. So this is the time where you actually meet the counselors, the human who will be connecting with you in future if you take therapy sessions with us. So now I hand over again to Ipshita. Ipshita, I request you to please introduce the counselors we have, the languages or the specialization we offer, so that our audience can choose if they want to. Thank you so much for your patient listening.
Thank you, Dr. Nidhi. That was really grounding and insightful. One of the things I love about this is the mosaic approach, as it takes out the guesswork of finding your perfect match. And that's what I also want to talk about next. The people, 9 of them. They are not algorithms, they are not chatbots, they are qualified counselors who know the Indian context because they live in it. Now here is our team of counselors. 9 counselors, but one united team. We start with our first counselor, Munashita Shah. She is based out of Kolkata, and she specializes in cases of depression, anxiety, and complex post-traumatic stress disorder. And she is fluent in English, Hindi, and Bengali. Next, we have Divyanshi Jain. She is from Bangalore. She specializes in trauma, grief, mood, and eating disorders. And she is proficient in English, Hindi, Bengali, and Punjabi. Third counselor in our team is Kainat Kakkar. She is also a career counselor, and she specializes in body image, relationships, and anxiety cases. And she is also fluent in English, Hindi, and Punjabi. Next, we move on to Sneha. She is out of Chennai. She specializes in life transitions, self-esteem, burnout, and is proficient in English and Tamil. We have another Sneha in the team who is out of Kolkata, and she specializes in mood disorders, family and workplace conflicts, again fluent in English, Hindi, and Bengali. Our sixth counselor is Nehal Pimpalkhare. She is from Pune. She speaks English, Hindi, Marathi, and specializes in cases of anxiety, OCD, that is obsessive compulsive disorder, and personality disorders. Next, we move on to Sucheta Rao. She's from Belgaum. She specializes in family systems, grief, sexuality, and reproductive health as her specialty areas, and is fluent in English, Hindi, Marathi, Konkani, and Kannada. Next up, we have Livia. She is based out of Delhi, speaks English, Hindi, Malayalam, and specializes in cases of stress, anxiety, burnout, and life transitions. And lastly, we have Amoga Agarwal. She's from New Delhi. She is into expressive arts and also academic and professional well-being, and is able to converse in English and Hindi. Together, all of these counselors cover a variety of languages from English to all regional languages, you just name it. They are also specialized in various areas, whether it be anxiety, depression, mood disorders, or career burnout, grief, and some of them are also LGBTQ plus affirmative. They are highly trained professionals, and some of them are also RCI registered, and they are trained specifically in the Indian cultural context. Now, one last voice before we close. Hubert Jerome is our founder and CEO, but more than the title, he is the reason this whole thing exists. He is an author and technologist based in San Diego who built MySafe Spaces because people he knows needed help and couldn't find a way in. I think the best person to tell you where we are going is the person who decided we should go there in the first place itself. Hubert, over to you.
Thank you, Ipshita. And thanks to everyone who's still there and for spending part of your weekend with us. I'll be brief. I started building MySafe Spaces because of a simple, unforgettable observation. The people I love and the people they love kept needing help and not being able to find it, or finding it too late, or finding the wrong kind. And every time it happened, I'd think, how is this still the system? It's 2026. With everything that we know and how mental health works, with all the technology we have, how is this still where we are? I'm a technologist by training. I'm an author. I live in San Diego. And the honest truth is, none of those are why I built this. I built this because at some point you want to stop wanting to write about it or talk about it, and you want to start fixing it. So that's why we are going, that's where we are going. And let me show you what it actually looks like. Tonight's launch, the counseling practice, sits inside one box of the slide. It's the box marked personal. But healing doesn't only happen in personal spaces. It happens or it doesn't happen in 4 places. It happens in schools, that's the box marked SWIS, student wellness and institutional safety standards. We work with schools across India to give counselors, teachers, and administrators the framework and the training to recognize when a child is struggling. Because the earliest signal of an adult mental illness, 90% of the time, is in adolescence. And almost nobody catches it then. It happens in your pockets. That's IntelliCare and Journey, an AI companion and journaling tool designed for people who aren't ready for therapy yet, or who maybe never will be, or who just need somewhere to put their thoughts at 2 in the morning when no human is awake. It happens in workplaces, that's CREW, employee wellness, leadership, training, and the analytics that help companies actually see whether their wellness programs they're paying for are doing anything. Because most aren't, and we should be honest about that. And it happens in the rooms where mental health professionals are trained or aren't trained well enough. That's Elevate and Thrive, our certification track for counselors. India is short on therapists. We don't fix that with one platform. We fix it by training the next generation of clinicians and giving them better tools than we have currently. 4 paths, one ecosystem. We didn't build any of them in isolation because mental health doesn't happen in isolation. It happens in the spaces between. And the reason we showed you the counseling practice tonight and not all 4 is because counseling is the one most of you in this room today can use. Today, this week. The others are operating in the background with schools and companies and clinicians. But this one, the one Dr. Nidhi spoke about, is yours. I'd like to leave you with this. We didn't build this because mental health is a market. There is a market. I'm a founder. I'd be lying if I said I didn't know that. The mental health space in India is going to be tens of billions of dollars in the next decade, and a lot of companies are going to chase it. And some of them will do good work, and some of them won't. But that's not why we did this. We did it because too many people we know have needed help and couldn't find it. My family, my friends, their kids, people I work with, people who reached out late or didn't reach out at all. Some of them got better, some of them are still figuring it out, some of them we lost. So when I think about what My Safe Spaces is and what I want it to be, I don't think about the market. I think about the next person who sits down at a laptop in Bengaluru, or a kitchen table in Delhi, or a hostel in Coimbatore and types into a search bar, I think I need help. I want to find a door. I want them to find a door. That's it. That's the whole thing. And so my one ask for you tonight is this. If you're carrying something, please don't carry it alone. We are here. There are these counselors who are here. There are helplines on this screen. There are people in your life who would want to know. And if you're not carrying anything heavy yourselves, but you know someone who is, share what you've heard tonight with them. One conversation can change a life. I've seen it. So have most of you perhaps. Thank you. Thank you all. Thank you to my team, Dr. Nidhi, Ipshita, our counselors, everyone behind the scenes who have made this possible. And once again, thank you for your time this weekend. Ipshita, back to you.
Thank you, Gilbert. Now, before we end this, here's what I want to leave you with. One conversation, no cost, no pressure. Now, if you book your first session with us and you don't feel the fit is right, we'll find you a counselor who is at no cost to you. That's not a sales pitch, that's a guarantee. The link is there in your screen and in the chat right now. You can take a screenshot if you want. I'll wait for a minute. Not just for free, but you also get the sessions at subsided rate. I hope everyone has taken the screenshot of the link. And one small thing, if today was very useful to you, the best thing you can do is share. Every follow, every repost, every time you tell a friend about us, that's one more person who learns and knows that health exists. And we are on Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, handles which are already there in your screen. Give us a follow, share a post or a story. It genuinely matters. So, thank you for today. Taking this hour already matters. Whether you book tomorrow or sit with what you heard for 6 months, I'm glad you were here. Take care of yourself this week. Thank you so much for attending and being such a lovely audience.